hier ist Christina von Style Ranking und ich sitze heute auf dem Naturalista-Stand auf der GDS und möchte gerne heute einen der beiden Geschäftsführer interviewen, Pablo. Pablo, ich habe ein paar Fragen an dich. The first question I would like to ask you is, what is Naturalista about and what is the philosophy behind the label?
Well, good morning first of all, nice for coming here to our booth to see our collection and to know more about our brand. And the brand was created 6 years ago, and the idea was to create a fun brand to enjoy and doing what we know to do, which is footwear and shoes. And we saw 6 years ago that there was a big niche in the market between fashion shoes, that they were really fashion, really uncomfortable, high heels, different lasts, and comfort shoes, which normally they were really boring. So we said, why can't we make a really comfortable shoe, but fun shoe, and also with fashionless details. This was the beginning, and we tried to use crazy outsoles, crazy colors, and that was pretty much how we created it. Trying to combine human values, not only on the selling department or on the marketing department, but also on the production process, and combining respectful materials from nature and also respectful laws with the people, taking care of people like human beings, not like numbers that most of the big corporate companies they do. It's only numbers and figures. For us, is enjoy life and try to make some money.
Then you can tell us a little bit about the materials you need for the shoes.
Something we realized in the beginning is that, you know, if we were going to launch a new brand, it didn't make sense to make the same way and the same things that most of the brands were doing. So we decided to improve and to develop new processes of production and new materials. So we decided to use as much as possible a handmade process that won't affect nature and won't affect our environment. And also we decided that we should use materials that won't affect, or at least will be the less impact in the nature. So we developed new materials like no chrome leather, recycled outsoles with PU and rubber. So it was just a combination, and then we put that on a mixer, and with the philosophy, with the human beings, and also with the setting up of a new big family we call the Frog family. So that was how a Naturalista came on.
That was very general. Now one question about the collection. Tell us a little bit about the collection in 2010. What is the color structure and the theme?
Pretty much what we have seen after 6 years is that, you know, people love the philosophy, people get really into the philosophy, and sometimes, you know, the brand gets into a second level. I mean, it's a lifestyle brand. So what we thought is that in the beginning the brand was seen as a really eco, as a really hippie, as a really green brand, and you know, and we were missing some fashion girls, fashion men. So what we have done is try to spread a little bit more the collection, and we have pretty much like created two collections. One is the more comfort collection, like we say, like, you know, these are our roots, how we created the brand. And what we have tried to do with the new collections is try to be a little bit closer from the fashion world, never forgetting that where do we come from, and never forgetting that comfort is our main reason for the brand. So what we have done is, you know, 4 new collections, 3 on ladies and 1 on men's, and they are divided. 2 are more fashion orientated and 2 are more comfort orientated. With the colors, like always in Naturalista, we want to provide and we want to offer crazy colors. You know, more and more other brands are trying to do that. You know, 4 or 5 years ago to make a green color, red color was totally crazy. Now it seems we have created a niche, and what we have done is try to incorporate new and crazy colors like lilac, like purple, pretty much just following the same philosophy of a Naturalista, having fun.
Okay. Then the next question is, show us your favorite shoe in the collection, or the favorite shoes in the collection.
Okay, so in this 2009, excuse me, spring-summer collection, what we have developed is one of my favorite shoes is the Palma shoe. You know, we always develop the shoes from the outsole. There is a history. Our designing department and product development department, they travel around the world to find ideas, to find new designs, and then this time they went to South America to see the palma trees, they developed a great outsole inspired on the palma, how the Indians put together the palma trees. And we have done the palma collection, which is a sandal collection on different colors, and it's doing fantastic. And then another great outsole that we have just developed is the called nido, which is the nest. All right, the outsole is inspired on the nest of the birds. We try to find inspirations always on different cultures and always things from nature or from human beings. So what we have done is a unisex range. We have done an outsole which is inspired and made by hand with a nest, and we have done ladies shoes and of course also men's shoes with the same outsole, which is doing fantastic. All right. And then what I will say is that orientated to a little bit more fashion, we created this season a collection inspired on the cork oak. You know, these pieces of cork oak, it comes from the tree cork oak, and we have done like a high heel shoe made of cork oak, inspired on the floor, on the tree cork oak. This is the surface of the cork oak, and this is like a little bit more fashion if you compare with our comfort collection, but it's doing extremely well. And the last one we have developed is the trio, which is this men's collection that is inspired on a really old tool that in Spain they used to cut the wheat on the streets, on the fields with the horses, and we have done like the different knives that use it to cut the wheat on the fields. This was used in the 18th century. A horse used to pull this wooden piece with the knives, and we have done a really fresh with the canvas and with linen, natural linen shoe, which I think that we have again hit a good range of
That means
shoes.
that you not only have research in the fashion area, you research in ethnological areas for your...
We tried, of course, we traveled to New York, to Paris, to Berlin, to Amsterdam, to London, to Tokyo, but it's not so helpful as if we go to South America, to Peru to see the Machu Picchu, or if we go to Kenya to see the jungle and the safari. For us, all the inspirations come from the earth and from the people. So the first thing that we do is to develop a history and a concept, and then from the concept we develop the uppers. And then in the uppers, of course, you need to be aware of what's going on in the fashion industry, but our way of working is totally different from the regular fashion companies. Okay.
And the last question, a very general one, is what is the difference between the German fashion or the German shoe fashion and the Spanish shoe fashion? I think there's a difference.
It's a big difference. For me, Spain is a Latin country, and Spain, Italy, and Greece, mainly. We are Latins. People care, mainly women. They care more about, the feminine side of woman trying to dress really. They are what we could call fashion victims. We want to avoid fashion victims, all right? And what we found between Spain, the main difference between Spain and Germany is that the people in Germany cares more about other values, like comfort, about how the shoes are made. They are not so much fashion victims as we are in Spain, and that's why Germany is our biggest market right now in the world. And the philosophy of the company and the concept of the company was well accepted from the beginning, because people realize that life is something else than just fashion. It's a question of comfort, of lifestyle, of having fun, treating people properly. And in the beginning, Spain was a little bit tough on that. But now I think that everybody's going into the right direction, especially with this economical situation, which is worldwide. We're all suffering. And I think that if we don't return human values into this society, we're all lost.
Okay. Thank you for the interview. It was very interesting. And yes, I hope you will see us again.
All right. Nice to meet you, and it's a pleasure for me having you here. And this is your house, and for anything you may need. Thank you.
Thank you.